Charlotte. Nice to meet you.
I'm from Denmark.
Ah, been there a little bit, briefly.
Sorry?
I said I've been there briefly.
You have?
To Copenhagen.
Yes,
right?
that's where I live.
What is it? The Christendom?
Sorry?
What is the little island? Christendom, where they make all the bicycles, right off of Copenhagen.
Christiania.
Yeah.
Christiania. Yes.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah,
I went
have
there
you
with
been
my.
there?
I have. I went there with my son when he graduated from college.
Yeah.
And we took
Did
2
you
months.
like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to stay long enough.
There's been a lot of discussion in Denmark about it because they live in this area and they don't pay tax and they pay very little for the
They're
houses.
squatters, pretty much, right?
So
that's what I heard. It's
So
controversial. It was then.
There are many governments who had complaints about because these free people living there, but we are many who protect them because it's a good place.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like a very holistic place where people took care of each other.
Yeah. What are you doing?
We're filming a human rights documentary.
Yes.
I'm the founder of Project 222.org.
Okay.
It says that we are all better off if each of us have dignified access within civil society to a minimum of 2 gallons of clean water, 2,000 nutritional calories, and 200 cubic feet of secure shelter. So as a global population, as a minimum, we should all have dignified access to food, water, shelter. Now we put it in the 222, 1, because it's memorable, and 2, because it's scientifically supportable, that World Health Organization, 7.5 liters, 2 gallons, 2,000 calories we all recognize, and the 200 cubic feet is about the size of living out of a car, which many people do in the United States and elsewhere. Small tent, so it's something that's relatable.
Yeah.
What do you think of 222 as a...
It sounds very, very sensible. It sounds very sensible. You could provide water and stuff for people like that.
And then expect them to rise to a level of their ability, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think of the U.S.'s approach to 222?
I don't think
Okay.
very.
I don't think
very
they do
fast.
much either.
No, I don't think they do very fast.
Yeah.
No.
So.
But you'll need another president.
Yeah, we'll have one. Nobody lasts forever, right?
Nobody lasts forever. You have another president, then things might change.
Fate swing the other way. Yeah. And I agree that we will have another president and things will swing. What motivates me is that right now there are 2 billion people that don't have adequate food, water, shelter, and there's
in America.
Globally. In America, we probably, what do we have? 300 million, and maybe 10 or 20 million of those, for one reason or other, don't have. And I'm estimating. I don't have the factual data. It's important that we have data. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm Charles. I'm a human rights activist. We're discussing Project 222. Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Here. Yeah. And I'll tell you about it as well. It's 222. The 2s stand for 2 gallons of clean water, 2,000 nutritional calories, and 200 cubic feet of secure shelter. It says that we, as a global population, the minimum, the less among us should have at least the basic requirements for life. So dignified access to 2 gallons of clean water, 2,000 calories, and 200 cubic feet of shelter.
What's the last?
200 cubic feet of secure shelter or tenure, about the size of living out of a car. As a bare minimum, people should be able to lock their stuff up. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you've been to the White House. Have you been to the front of the White House yet?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a little shelter there.
I've seen them on the picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've spent about 2,000 hours as the vigil sitter there.
Is that the size?
That's about 200 cubic feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's something that people, I think can focus on. So, and in Denmark, you don't have a lot of homeless, right? We'd mentioned Christendom or whatever that's called.
We don't have a lot of many homeless.
Homeless, you don't?
No, we have around, I think.
We have many more than we want.
No,
oh, do you?
Yes, I think we have around 1,000 or something like that.
1,000?
Yeah, but it is.
But that's still too many,
out of
right?
population of 6 million. We're 6
That's
million
pretty
inhabitants in
darn
Denmark.
good. So why are those 1,000 homeless? What do you think?
Because in the last, I don't know how many years, the gap between the rich and poor has grown, and because housing
Way up.
is rising in prices like it is in all other,
And because the psychiatric care has diminished.
and the social care has changed. So a lot of change in our, from our point of view, in a bad way, has done that. It takes years.
I have worked with homeless in Denmark and Copenhagen, and a lot of them actually are not homeless, but they can't stand to be at home. So they have to be to go around all the time, even if they have a place to live at, actually.
So they're isolated at home, they need to get out?
A lot of them are, disturbed in some ways,
Right.
with bad lives, and actually are psychiatric patients. The people I worked with was what we call diagnosed. That was
They're what?
Drug addicts.
They had
and
drug addicts, yeah.
different
homeless. And one thing more. I didn't remember. Yes, I can't remember. Sorry.
No, I was listening. You said that the mental health, drug addiction,
Yeah.
and there was one other reason.
Some
Yeah.
kind of mental disease.
Yeah, okay.
That
When
was
you
the
have a
combination,
double
so to say.
diagnosis, you have more than one mental diagnosis. A double diagnosis means that you have at least two.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean?
So I could be bipolar and
And something else.
and
Yeah.
something
Yes.
else,
Yes.
and have PTSD or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So
But,
many of them don't want to live in houses because they are disturbed. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still a pity there on the street.
yeah.
And nowadays we have we have a lot of people coming from Southern Europe and from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are homeless as well. They are in the streets now. Formerly in Denmark, you never see a homeless in the city. You never see it. But now you see somebody lying and sleeping in the streets and so on. You didn't have that before. So,
Yeah.
but
We went for a walk today here because I wanted to show, I've been here many times, and I wanted to show my husband the cherry trees, but there's 2 weeks too.
They're a little too early. Yeah.
It's such a pretty sight.
Beautiful, right? It's
And
one
I've
of the
seen
yeah.
it when I am here in March.
Yeah, a little too early.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah.
You can see the red though.
Yeah,
you can see just the hint,
and
the
yeah.
hue of the red. Yeah, yeah.
I need to find out what's the purpose of our conversation.
The purpose of the organization.
Our conversation here now.
Oh, we have a website, project222.org. So we've been conducting interviews here in DC to put on the website, and what we want to do is a lot of the times I'm talking to you and you speak one language, but your wife doesn't speak English. So I talk to you, and then I have you talk to your wife. So it's husband talking to wife, and also English speaking to Dutch or whatever. I'm not sure what you guys speak.
Danish.
Danish, okay.
Danish, yes.
So so the idea is to get different people talking about the same thing, and then we'll do a collage. And when there's a point that if many times it's, when I say 2 gallons of clean water, I get a nod. 2,000 nutritional calories, I get a nod. So a lot of it may just be 1 second of your facial expression, or it may be your comment on mental health. So there's a lot of editing. We've got probably 7 hours, 10 hours maybe between yesterday and today. And so let's go back and edit it. Now, I mentioned, I think, that our sponsor, I put this on LinkedIn in March after working on it for 12 years. I didn't have 222, but when I had 22, I said, okay, enough people have said, nod, then it's time to get it out to the global population. So I put it on LinkedIn, and quickly I got 10,000 connections because I was prospecting like I was the lumber trader that I used to be. And one of those connections was the director and the founder of the Institute for Education, Research, and Scholarships, Newton Lee, a renowned computer scientist. And I told him about it, and I said, Newton, what we're trying to do is affect the collective consciousness of humankind for the 21st century adaptation to the challenges that we share. And through that, we're going to affect the global economy. And he said, yeah, too. And I'm thinking, okay. So that gave me the confidence to keep moving.
There'll be a tipping point when a certain amount of people have heard about it.
Yeah, the 100 Monkey series or whatever that is. Yeah, So then through the institute, they sponsor different nonprofits, and they also have interns from all over the world in different disciplines that they try to get hooked up with nonprofits so that they can advance the humankind. Right? That's their. So they became our fiscal sponsor. He joined our board, and then 2 weeks ago, I joined their board. So now I'm on the board of the institute. So, and they've taken their major focus and put it at Project 222. So I'm up here to get encouragement from folks like you, and then get a little content for the website. So when you go to the website, eventually you'll be able to say, in Danish, I want to hear what it's about. And I want to hear about it in Ukraine. Today we got like 5 different languages, Italian, we got Spanish, to where we have son talking to father, husband talking to wife, and now all that leads us up to, we haven't got anybody speaking Danish yet. So could you guys tell each other what Project 222 is about? So when we put it on the website, we've got one more language covered?
In Danish or in English?
Danish.
In Danish, okay.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to explain it in Danish without. I need to know more. I need to know more.
222 er et projekt, der satser på at løfte de fattigste op til ikke velstand, men til et bare nogenlunde overlevelsesværdigt liv. Og det liv, det forudsætter, at man har vand nok, og man har et sted at bo, og det er det, som 222 arbejder for.
How much water? Remember how much water?
2,000 gallons or something like that. They said you could describe vand nok.
2 gallons.
Yeah.
2 gallons.
2 gallons, okay, 2 gallons, yes, okay.
And the shelter?
The shelter, yes.
And the third thing was?
Food, water, shelter. So 2,000 calories.
2,000 calories, yes.
2 gallons of water and 200 cubic feet.
Vi er i den heldige situation, nu fortsætter jeg på dansk, vi er i den heldige situation, at i Danmark er der meget, meget, meget få, der ikke har de ting, som vi taler om her, altså de 2 gallons vand og et sted at bo og mad nok. Vores problem er noget andet, altså...
Men det hører ikke med her, Ove.
Jo, det gør det da. Han beder os om at fortælle på dansk, hvad 222 er for noget. Det
ja, men så det handler det ikke om, at vores problem er noget andet. Det handler det ikke om.
Nej.
Sorry, I was correcting him.
She always does.
That'll be the charm of the video.
I actually have a question. You guys seem upset.
Because he was saying, in Denmark we don't have the problem with the water, we have another problem. Then he was,
yeah.
I said, that's not the point.
No, our biggest problem in Denmark is actually that you have the wrong president at this time. I do think that's a problem about the 222 as well.
That's our
You've swung right.
Our problem here.
Yeah. What was your question, Doug?
Well, answer it to Charles, so you gotta pretend I'm not here, but
no, you're not here.
You guys were talking about, oh, you feel bad, we have 1,000 homeless people. That's so small compared to what a typical American city would be. I mean, you have 6 million people, you have 1,000 homeless. Yeah. We have more than 1,000 homeless in DC. Yeah. It's the size of 500,000 people, 600,000. Yeah. What do you? This is a question, Charles. Maybe you could ask. What do you think that the mindset that is so different about many European countries versus America and some other countries as well about social mindset where we take care of people, whereas here we expect everybody to take care of themselves.
Okay. So here in the U.S., we have a much bigger problem with homelessness than you do in Denmark and all of Europe, generally speaking. What do you think that the mindset of the Danish people, how are you able to take care of that?
Actually, when people in Denmark are asked if they pay too much in taxes, all says no, we didn't. We want to pay more taxes. That's the general, when you make surveys in Denmark, that's the answer you get. And that's because we have this welfare society, and everybody knows that it's a very good thing for all of us to have a welfare society. That means that schools are free, roads are free, hospitals are free, doctors are free, everything is free, you know, because we pay our taxes. Universities are free.
In fact, you're paid to go to university. You're paid as a student to go to university. You can't make a luxury living of it, but you can
Pay your expenses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in fact,
To some degree.
everything more or less is free, and it's not free, but it's paid by taxes.
So what is the
So,
percentage?
And if you come to Denmark and if
About-
you're having an accident in Denmark, you need to go to hospital, you will have it free. You will not get a bill.
Well, if you come to the U.S. and have an accident, you're going to get a bill for $15,000.
We know,
Right.
we know. So
Yeah.
we are very secure.
So we have spent hundreds of years of building up this democracy and taking care of each other, and that is taking a long time.
Yeah, so you have a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of people.
From our point of view, it's changed within the last 10 years because of the last 10 years government into something, turning a little in a way that we disapprove about.
The right-wing
Come
parties,
back.
the right-wing parties in Denmark are what would you call left-wing Democrats in the United States.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
it's that different? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is just the other way. So,
Well,
but
Well, thank you.
yeah, we're just, when we walked around here, we were talking about why do the Americans don't learn from Denmark to make this society a great society. I mean, not great again, I mean great society.
Yeah, exactly.
A society that cares for everybody, a society that nobody fall under the bottom, so to say. In Denmark we have made this system because we know we are dependent on each other, and we know that everybody of us can, I can be mentally ill, or I can be injured on
Right.
my legs or something, and some will take care of me. Maybe you can introduce yourself. My wife is a midwife, and she has, du kan sige en lille smule om det måde, at møde børnene på i Danmark. Altså alle, even if they come from wherever they come from.
all
we are
women will have a free delivery.
Yeah.
All women will have. And if you're a tourist, you will have a free delivery if your baby is due to come while you are in Denmark.
Ah,
If you are an illegal refugee, because I've been looking after some illegal women who lives in Denmark. There's a little group of illegal people who really want to get into Denmark.
Yeah.
They are illegal. And there's a handful of dentists and lawyers and nurses and midwives and doctors who take care of these people. And I've delivered some of their babies, and they come to the hospital and they have the baby, and we take care of them just as anybody else.
right. But then those people that are trying to get citizenship, they're isolated in an area.
No,
They're just free to go.
They live.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of them are a little isolated, but not very hard. They are a little.
Well, this is outside of 222, but in the healthcare and what does Denmark, what is the rule on abortion? Do you have abortion in Denmark?
Yes, of course.
Legal
And-
abortion.
Yeah,
Yes,
legal,
everyone can
yeah,
get abortion.
yeah. See, here it's the big controversy.
know.
Anything that can create controversy here is made into a spotlight so it can be a political talking point, and not that that's by any means is way beyond a talking point, but I would imagine, I'm guessing that you have percentage-wise, you have less unwanted pregnancies there than you
Yes.
than you do here, right? You have a better approach to sexual education. You
Yes.
have a better approach
Yes.
to healthcare. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So,
So, well,
Yes.
thank you.
okay.
Did you guys know that Denmark wins happiest country on earth? Like,
Yeah, we know.
Look at him. I can tell.
do you agree with it?
You know, that's hard to measure happiness. What's happiness? When I'm walking around with my wife, hand in hand, I'm happy, and I'm secure, and I'm happy because I'm secure because nothing bad can happen to me except what I told before. Everybody, that's human life, but I'm very, very secure, and I do think that this tryghed that's called in Danish, that secureness is called tryghed in Danish. That's very important for the Danes, and that's the reason for our welfare society. And we think, okay, nothing can hurt us.
If you ask a Dane what's the most important, they would say secure. Freedom and secureness.
Security, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Actually, we were in Russia television here a few months ago with Mr. Posner, who is a very well-known Russian journalist. He has interviewed Hillary as well. And he was surprised, just the same as you are, that we had called all our family together from the 10-year-old to I'm 76, and everybody around the table said, what we love most about Denmark is freedom and security. Everybody said it, even from 10 years old.
Freedom and security.
Freedom and security, yes.
Well, I think that my freedom and security phrase is 222, right? Because if you've got, I relate it to the inalienable right of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, which is kind of security, but life is dependent upon measurable amounts of food, water, shelter. So that's we're trying to sum it up, and hopefully it translates into Danish, which it obviously did because you gave us your valuable time, and thank you so much.
Good luck.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy. Thank you. I like your thing. Once we hit it the right piece, the number of pieces, that's the way it goes. The 100 monkeys, right?
Do you have a card so we can?
No, but I don't. Well, wait a minute. I do have a card.
Did you tell him
I normally don't carry a card, but I
so we
think.
can see, so we can look it up.
Well, if you Google 222 human rights, let me just show you what it was.
Det viste sig altid så lidt ordentligt op. De var låst med en lås, så man kunne komme ind.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks again, guys.
222.
Project.
I can't shake your hands. Okay.
You see that logo?
Yes, 222.
Project 222 Human Rights. Project. Yes. Google. You have Google in here.
Yes.
Okay,
We
you
have
got
Google.
it.
We have Google.
Well, I didn't know if you had some other Danish thing. The world has Google, right?
Giggle and Google. Goodbye.
Bye. Stay happy.